So I did read the Yes and book, and I'm sure you could recite it. But one of the things they talk about in there is being like politically correct, and that comedians should kind of push the boundaries of that. Wanted to get your take on that. I know Dave Chappelle kind of got a lot of shit for going after the LGBTQ community, but his argument is like, well, I go after everybody, kind of equal opportunity offender.
I saw that question. I was like, oh man, because that Dave Chappelle special was, I mean, like people were all like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but that's exactly it. He does go after everybody.
I thought it was hilarious. I mean, and he goes after women, he goes after white people, clearly, and it's just, and it's hilarious.
And like his stuff makes you think.
Yeah.
Right. And he's not like tearing them down. He's just like, yo, man, this is like something that's pretty effed up in the world.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it worked. He got people talking about it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He does get the conversation going.
But in the book, they kind of talk about like, that's sort of the job is to push boundaries. Yeah. And make people feel a little.
Yeah. Kind of like question, like, is this the only way we can do things?
Yeah.
Right? Challenge authority, kind of put the mirror back on like, you know, who's running the show, kind of thing. I think one of the main things I teach and try to live by, when I'm performing and things like that, is you never want to punch down on somebody who's already in like a lower status position, right? So I like oftentimes like I'll get so many like bros. Like, I mean, even like last night, this class was 19 people. There were 3 women in the class. And there were like a lot of like older men in the class. It was very interesting. But it was just like dick jokes, and like even one of them said the C word. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, aren't we
We could do better.
this?
Yeah.
And that's what I say. I'm like, or people will say like pretty like, like tired subjects. That's kind of how I say it. It's like, are we
not
tired
inventive
of talking?
in any way. Yeah.
We're tired of talking about this. You can do better.
Yeah.
Like, that's easy.
Like political and Trump jokes. Like, whether you love politics or I'm sure most people are tapped out of that stuff. Yeah.
And especially like teaching kids, like they go to things that are like super easy. They're like Trump, like more Trump.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, what else can we talk about?
Yeah.
Because I want to look at like, that old lady sitting on a bench feeding geese. What's her point of view of the world?
Yeah.
Right? Like, show me this character rather than, some guy who's like, oh, I'm just trying to get laid. Right? Like,
yeah.
And that all has its place and it's funny sometimes, but it's just like, or like, stop making this, like, one of the things I do in my she camp is with the girls, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to give you a suggestion. I want to see a scene between CEO and, employee, whatever.
Yeah.
And they always default to being a man boss.
Oh, interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And it's something, and I'll be like, okay, you're going to do the scene again. This time you're both women. They're like, oh. Or like one time I did like, okay, president, man. Astronaut, man. Right?
Oh my gosh, this is fascinating for me from an academic research perspective.
Honestly,
yeah.
I know. It was so interesting to see that. Or like guys up here and just like putting women in like girlfriend, mom, nurse roles.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, cool. Let's flip it. I actually like last night's theme of the week was status, like playing status and like taking somebody who's in high status and somebody who's in low status and flipping it.
Oh, okay.
So like what information can we have on this person to like all of a sudden, put this person on top? And it's kind of like a funny puzzle piece to improvise and figure out.
And it's got the surprise element.
Yeah. Right. So it's like, oh, let's play characters that we can bring up, right? Not punch down. Or let's play that lovable loser and make them win.
Yeah.
Right? Or if you're gonna fail gloriously. Like those are all like the things that kind of go through my mind with that.